All right. Hello, everybody. Let me get
Hello.
everybody unmuted here.
Hello.
Wow.
All right. We are back with another ThrillGeek This Week live stream
Can't get rid of
telling
us
you
yet.
about our exciting week, or lack thereof, I should say. Because we all
I
live
had an
such-
exciting week.
Barry's like, I had
weeks.
something to live for.
I actually had a pretty awesome the weather this weekend was absolutely fantastic. So I wanted to take full advantage of it yesterday with the kids, because this new job, I work Sundays now, and so Saturday is really my only day with the kids. So we took full advantage of it, and we took the kids out to right here in Hunters Creek where I live. They do a spring festival. Let me bring up my comments here on the stream. Give me a second. They do like a spring festival, and they do this thing with the marshmallow drop where they fly a helicopter over and they drop marshmallows from a helicopter, and the kids run out there. And
that's a Florida thing. I've literally never seen that happen anywhere else.
I don't understand it though. There's they've done it for many, many, many years, and it's insanely popular. Like the crowds there yesterday were like insane.
That's why I'm like, there's so many people here wanting marshmallows falling onto the ground. It's weird.
I'm amazed nothing has ever horribly gone wrong at one of these things.
Well, yesterday it was pretty hilarious because they split it up into age groups. It's like 4 to 6, and then 7 to 8, and then I think like 9 and 10-year-olds or something like that. It's split up into 3 age groups. Well, the first age group, the kids, they had like some guy, like they had like an MC there, and he like said the helicopter was over the field dropping the marshmallows, and the MC said something, and they don't want the kids out there until the helicopter's cleared out of the way.
Yeah.
So the MC said something that triggered the kids, and they all hauled ass out to the field.
They summoned the Winter Soldier.
All chaos broke loose, and you've got all the Hunters Creek volunteers running out there trying to get the kids back in case this helicopter decides to come crashing down.
Children.
And it was just mass hysteria. But I don't exactly understand it. I mean, I guess it's just the thrill of collecting marshmallows, because literally when it's all done, the kids walk over and dump the marshmallows in like these giant. No. Because they're on the grass, and they're all like grass and dirt covered marshmallows. And the kids walk over, they dump out their marshmallows, and they get like a little like plastic bag with some like Easter candy in it. Like there's no
some weird Florida shit.
That seems very wasteful to me.
There's no okay. The one, I think they do it for the 2 older age groups, the 6 and 8 and the 9 and 10. There's gold marshmallows, where if you get a gold marshmallow, you get like a big Easter basket or something like that. But anyways,
so the 6 through 10-year-olds are punching each other to get the
it's a massive area. It was but the kids had a blast. They have bounce houses and all the spring festival stuff. They had the Easter bunny out there, so we went that, and then we went over to Animal Kingdom and spent the evening there to kind of soak in the rest of this weather. Hello to everybody, by the way, that's watching the live stream. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate everybody tuning in to YouTube and Twitch. If you're watching, be sure to say hello.
If you followed us on Twitter, Clint did not go to Epcot. That was me who then went to Epcot.
I like time warped over to Epcot.
My favorite thing was Barry going, "Are you still at Animal Kingdom?" And it took me a lot of willpower to not reply, "Well, since I haven't kidnapped Clint's kids today, that's gonna be a no."
Yeah. No, Barry texted me at like I think it was like 7:30, 8 o'clock, and was like, "Are you still at Animal Kingdom?" I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "I got a few more tweets," and he was like, "Okay, I'm gonna take over."
That was after he realized I was not at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah.
So,
well, none of the tweets had his children in it, so it's like,
I
don't always pay attention to what Clint does.
Barry doesn't care about my personal Twitter page.
No, and then last night's weather was too good to pass up, and just went to Epcot, and
I wouldn't know I'm blocked out.
Caught Harmonious. I know it wasn't very crowded. I wonder why. Caught Harmonious, and then jumped over to the Magic Kingdom, and was able to ride like 4 attractions in 50 minutes because a thing I've noticed with Genie Plus and with early entry now is Magic Kingdom after fireworks. That park completely clears out now because people are just tired. And you can knock out so much in that last hour and a half that it's just, it's crazy. But the weather was perfect, so it was a perfect night to go. And I mean, I was wearing a hoodie and pants in April. I'm trying to think in the past when I ever wore pants in April.
Usually
or
by
a
now
hoodie, or a hoodie in April. So
yeah, usually by now we're at least full steam ahead into the hot, humid summer days. Because that's why when I saw this weather, I was like, we need to take advantage of this because this could be our last quote unquote cold front before it's full steam ahead into the hot summer Florida months for the next 6 months. So but yeah, we went to Animal Kingdom with the kids. Which was nice because I hadn't been to Animal Kingdom in years. I hate to say it. So it was nice to get
opened.
Huh?
It was around the time Pandora opened, I think. I feel like
we went. No, I went after that one time after that, but anyways, it's been a while since I had been to Animal Kingdom. So we went there for the latter part of the afternoon and evening and walked around with the kids and went to go see Kite Tales, but then it got canceled because of the wind. So I was looking forward to showing the kids that, but it was really windy yesterday. And I was like, do they run this in the wind? It's Kite, so surely they do. Nope.
Nope.
So, and then Jordan was like, my oldest, he's like, hey, there's nothing to do here. They got rid of Primeval Whirl. Everest is closed because of refurbishment, so there's like nothing for Mr. Thrill Ride here to do. But we had fun. We went and watched Celebration of Festival of the Lion King and did the safari, which was really fun. And then we went over and did Dinosaur because my 2 younger ones, Charlotte and Connor, they hadn't done Dinosaur yet. So I was like, let's traumatize our children.
Yeah, the traumatizing the children.
Let's traumatize the children before we head out. That was the last thing we did.
Let's have dinosaurs attack them in the dark.
Yeah.
Did they like it?
Charlotte was slightly terrified.
One does.
Connor got off of it and he was like, oh, I'm a little dizzy, but that was fun. I was like, okay.
Boy.
I guess that's a win. So, but that was about it. And then we kind of headed on out. So, yeah, that was my weekend. And then I went to Universal on Friday. So I had a couple days in a row with theme park goodness. And then, Friday, I just did Islands and I kind of did a live stream for those of you that are paying attention to the YouTube. Did a live stream there and walked around, and I noticed the rope courses in Camp Jurassic were reopened. So I was like a kid and I was running around there for a little while, which was fun. But yeah, that was my weekend.
Well, Emily, myself, and James went and saw Everything Everywhere All at Once today.
I saw you guys went and saw the movie.
That was
I didn't think it was supposed to be like that funny.
It was funny. I feel like for me at least, it's definitely one of the most creative movies I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
And then just all the actors, but especially Michelle Yeoh, if I say these names wrong, Stephanie Sue, and God,
Short Round.
Yeah, there you go.
What is this movie about? It's like a multiverse movie, right? Where she like different.
It's a multiverse movie,
I'm
but
trying to
I don't want to give
it without giving it away.
I don't want to give it away. Yes,
Yeah.
there are.
It's basically about. I'm trying to think like the best way to do it. It's basically just about this family who's struggling and they own a small business and they have to go to an IRS building to obviously get their taxes done and everything like that. And then once she's there, stuff starts to happen and she is able to unlock certain paths that she can take in order to better herself or better, the people in her family, but it is just screwed up and it doesn't go the right way. And
yeah. It's
Yeah.
wild.
Interesting. I'll have to watch it. Everybody that's seen it, I've
very adult.
yeah. Oh, that'll be definitely be a movie.
Yeah.
Then Cheryl and I can maybe watch when it comes out on whatever streaming, whatever.
Yeah, it was really, really good.
Hey, speaking of multiverse, did we all get our Doctor Strange tickets?
Nope.
I did, but I used my Cinemark account instead of my AMC A-list, which I will be canceling. Because
but even like sitting in the theater today, I'm like, compared to that theater, because we went to Springs, compared to that theater, compared to the theaters that you get at like the Cinemark at Universal, I'm like, oh, I don't want to come here anymore. I just want to go to the Universal one.
Yeah.
It's so much nicer.
I mean, for me and Sin and I, it's like just the Cinemark one's closer now. I mean, it made sense when we were literally 10 minutes from that movie theater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really make sense anymore.
But even I'm like 20 minutes from it, and we still make the trip up to Universal at this point.
Yeah.
It's just quality.
And I think even though in both cases they are catering to tourists.
Yeah.
I've had so many issues seeing a movie at the Disney Springs one with just people talking. I feel like sometimes there's tourists who go in there and they got time to kill. Mm-hmm. So they're just there to see a movie. And then, I can't count how many times I've been in there and someone's like been on their phone.
Yeah. I was just surprised about the amount of people in our movie today. I didn't think that many people were going to go see it. And I was like, oh, okay. How many?
You guys saw that at Springs, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's not on a lot of screens right now. And
maybe that's why then.
It's one of the, a lot of smaller movies, especially the A24 films. They ramp them up slowly. And
I'm just so torn. Like, I have like Barry used to live next to me. Well, a mile or two down the road
right next
from
to each other. It was very confusing.
Yeah, like I'd walk out the door and be like, "Good morning, Barry." Top of the morning to you, neighbor. No, couple miles from me, and so I still have it. AMC, A-list stubs, whatever the heck you want to call it, and right down the road from me here in Hunters Creek is the little Regal.
The Loop.
Yeah, Regal at the Loop. And they don't have
Spider-Man.
Huh?
I said that's where I saw Spider-Man, and that was also not an enjoyable experience in the theater.
Here's my issue with that theater. They don't have any big screen formats.
Yeah.
They don't have an IMAX. They don't have a Dolby.
Yeah, they only have their RPX.
Their RPX or 4DX or whatever the hell it's called. So I'm torn. Like, I could sign up for their thing and not have, and they charge extra for the big screen formats at the theaters that do have it. Yeah. So I'm like, what do I do? I like, do I just stick with AMC and just deal with it?
The movies enough to even like,
and that's it too. Stuff. Exactly. Yeah,
we had the movie pass thing, and we went a lot with that because we were only paying $10 a month for like a free movie every like 2 days. But
and the one at Universal, what's the theater at Universal? The Cinemark. Yeah. They don't really have like a subscription service, do they? They have more like a reward thing.
Yeah, they have. I guess it's like a rewards thing where you get like one free ticket a month, if I remember correctly. Like discounts on like,
and you can stack them.
Beverage. Yeah.
You get one free ticket a month, but you also you get discounts off the regular price, and the surcharge for XD isn't as much. It's
only like $10 a month, right, to sign up for it?
Yeah, it's only $10.
The rewards thing.
I mean, AMC A-list made sense when I lived 10 minutes from Disney Springs. As long as I went to like 2 Dolby movies a month, which I usually did. Back before the pandemic, when we were having stuff released on a regular basis. It made sense because the Dolby was like $14-15. But it really just doesn't make sense on the money. And then this thing with Doctor Strange where he couldn't even get tickets.
I finally got one at like 6:00.
Or if you did get through, I got through like multiple all the way to the end, and then it like didn't acknowledge my AMC membership.
Yeah.
For like when you like when I used Fandango. It's like it made it all the way to the final thing, and then it was like, oh, you don't have a AMC A list. You know,
I had a few people tell me to try Fandango, and I tried that, and I was getting it told me to put in my AMC A list number, and that wasn't working.
Yeah,
and I was like, okay.
It wasn't acknowledging like my A list or my the stubs. I'm gonna keep the stubs because that's only like $10 a year.
Yeah,
and you know, if you go enough, you get more than enough. You know, I'm still probably gonna end up going to the Springs every so often.
Yeah,
because of like, you know, either, you know, you're planning something around Disney or you're meeting other people.
Yeah.
But you know, I just joined the Cinemark one because it's just like those are the Universal, and then the one over at the outlets is the two closest really good theaters to where I live. I mean, we have the one downtown, but I mean, it's a pain in the ass to deal with.
Yeah.
So it's like I'm gonna try that for a while.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I may just stick with AMC for now. I want to cancel it, but then I go and I look at all my other options, and yeah, I could do Universal. And I actually think the Universal Theater is closer than Springs. But like Emily mentioned a little bit ago, we don't go to the movies a whole lot. I mean, I could change that and go now that I have like a Friday off. By myself and just go see like a random movie, you know, but I don't know. I just like, I was so frustrated on, what was it, Monday or Tuesday when Doctor Strange tickets went on sale.
I don't know. I just felt like that one scene from Community where Donald Glover comes in holding like the pizza and everything's on fire. Because I wasn't trying to get them because I'm just that person that swoops in last minute day of and I go, oh, look, 2 seats.
Yeah, so. And that's kind of what I did. I gave up eventually. Like I tried.
Well, yeah, no, the only way it worked is like everyone who like drove to Disney Springs and got tickets.
Yeah, I saw people that drove to Disney Springs
that
and
worked apparently. But
I was like, oh, so I got to pay $20 a month to spend gas money to go get a ticket for Doctor Strange. Got it.
Strange, you know, and it's gonna be it's gonna end up being the same thing for like Thor: Love and Thunder when that goes on sale.
Yeah, so. Anyways, that was the fiasco a lot of people had to deal with Doctor Strange. I'll probably stick with it for now until, you know, I didn't even talk it over with Cheryl, my wife, because, you know, we do go see movies together and we're both signed up for AMC. So anyways, did y'all get your tickets for Doctor Strange? Let us know. How was your ordeal?
Emily still has to get her tickets.
Emily will literally look day up and go, wow, there's 2 tickets available. Got it. I literally did that for Spider-Man. Had no issues.
And that's kind of the thing too. Like this mad rush for opening day tickets, that's all it was, you know.
Yeah, that's why I
don't you know, and this has been happening since I feel like Infinity War with AMC.
Yeah.
Is because like I remember Endgame, you know, I ended up having to be in a 3D theater on opening night because that was the only thing I could get.
Yep.
Still was insane, but still not the same as like being able to watch it. And you know, we eventually went and watched it in the Dolby.
Yeah.
So, but
and then we have a cheapy movie theater up the road here, in South Chase. You know, we've done that a couple of times because it's actually they've invested some money in the theater and kind of upgraded things here and there. And I actually think that's where we ended up seeing, because kind of the same thing you said with Endgame. Everything was sold out everywhere. So we just went to the cheapy movie theater up here and we got in opening night. So anyways,
that's the way to do it.
So everybody, I'm sure, has just been thrilled about us talking about like getting movie tickets.
You know, it was an interest, you know, it was a fiasco, you know, and yeah. And you know, it was worth talking about because it was a interesting day for getting Doctor Strange tickets. So
it was frustrating.
Yeah, it was very frustrating. So anyways, I'm going to kind of bring up our website here. We'll go over some theme park news really quick. Not too much going on this week. First things first here, SeaWorld Orlando announced some additional concerts for the Seven Seas Food Festival. Tonight, Flow Rida.
Shocking.
Thank you, Florida.
Flow Rider is at a festival in Orlando that occurs in the spring. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you.
Next week, we got Boys to Men.
Wow.
This is a long one. Best of Both Worlds. Nothing Fancy in the Light of Led Zeppelin.
the tribute band week.
Tribute band, yeah. And then Saturday, April 23rd, Let It Be, Bee Gees Now, Greggy and the Jets. These two shows are at 2, 4, and 6 p.m. And then Saturday, April 30th is Chase Bryant. Sunday, May 1st is Louis Fonzi. Saturday, May 7th is Sima Funk. And Sunday, May 8th is Justin Quills. And that wraps up Seven Seas Food Festival.
I wouldn't know. I don't have a pass to SeaWorld. So.
I always forget that you don't have a SeaWorld. We haven't been. SeaWorld's going to be the next park we go
to.
I barely have enough time to go to Disney and Universal. So.
Yeah, I haven't been to SeaWorld in forever.
Yeah, I saw that on Twitter. Ride on Orlando says Flo Rida was 30 minutes late.
That's on brand.
Park was a mess. Yeah, I'm on the Facebook SeaWorld Orlando pass holder group, and somebody posted a picture of the line to get in just to parking, and it was insane.
And that's when we turn around
and go home.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean that seems to been an issue with them for years on Seven Seas Food Festival Saturdays, especially whenever there's a big name. It's
also spring break.
Yeah, you gotta get there like earlier in the day. It's just
yeah, I was at Universal on Friday, and the spring break crowds are still in full swing. So
I walked out from Disney for 2 weeks, and that is a sign from God to stay home.
Well, I mean, it's so weird. With Disney has been so weird to me because it's and I guess this maybe is a sign of the amount of like less pass holders there are now, because the weekends just don't seem as busy as they used to be.
Yeah.
Then during the week, it is a madhouse.
Which is us because we always go after work. So after 5 p.m., it turns into a nightmare.
Yeah, I wouldn't know that. I don't get to go at night. But no, I mean it's been interesting to see how pass holders. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have the top pass, so I was like, oh, am I going to be able to get into the park on Easter? Oh, yeah, I will be because everyone else is blocked out. So
I love having things rubbed in.
Well, of course, I mean, we haven't heard anything yet if they're going to bring back the little Easter mini parade this year for the first time.
Because they brought back the little Easter egg hunt thing at Epcot.
It's been what, I think 3 years. So it'd be interesting to see if they bring back the little Easter mini parade, even though there used to be an actual Easter parade at Disney Magic Kingdom.
That's true. God, speaking of crowds, I posted this on my personal Twitter. I was going back and watching some of our live streams, like when the parks first started to reopen from COVID, and I was like, "Oh my God,
wonderful times."
I hate
Emily to have a panic attack every time
when we were all like, let's not act too excited on our tweets that we're like, this is the greatest.
That's what I've ever
had in my life.
That's what I was gonna say. I hate to be so positive about a pandemic, with COVID and everything, but my gosh, those were like those crowds were.
I feel like that grandma meme where it's like, "Come on, grandma, let's get you to bed." It's like back in my day when there was a pandemic.
Well, I remember like all these people, you'd post these pictures of like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and they're like, the lines wrapped around the attraction, and it's like, it was a 25-minute wait.
Yeah, exactly. There was no fast pass or lightning lane or whatever the heck you want to call it. It was standby only, and it was
now
fantastic.
They seem to have broken the parks. So
yeah, so moving on, keeping it kind of Busch Gardens, SeaWorld. Busch Gardens announced some little enhancements to their park, including the entrance. For those of you watching the live stream, this is a picture of what the new entrance facade will look like. You got a giraffe, you got lion, you got some rhinos, and you got some coasters in the background, including Kumba.
It needs it because you walk up and you obviously know where you are because you parked there and you took a tram and everything, but you get up there and you're like, it literally says nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's been needed for years. I mean, we had, I feel like what, 6 years ago when they sort of opened up the entrance area.
Yeah.
After you go through the turnstiles, but it's always been sort of blank and bland compared to, even you compare it to like Busch Gardens Williamsburg entrance. Is a lot more like, has a bigger feel to it. So I think it's well past due that they needed to do something to that entrance.
Yeah, and they also announced, this was interesting from the press release. They said transformation includes refreshed looks at fan favorite attractions, including Montu, Cheetah Hunt, and Stanley Falls Flume, as well as park areas including Moroccan Village and Pantopia. So I don't know what they mean by that. Like, are they going to enhance?
I'm assuming it's the paint jobs
that they've been doing on the rides. Yeah,
because they've been painting. I guess they painted Cheetah Hunt first.
Yeah.
And then Montu, and then I guess they've just been sort of working their way around. They've been. I mean, I give it to them. They have been spending money on sprucing up the park. Because it was definitely some lean years there where like things definitely, same thing at SeaWorld here. There was sections of the park that were starting to look a little rough.
And they also announced this all new summer celebration event. And it says it continues with the introduction of new shows in Gwazi Plaza, Dragonfire Grill, and Pantopia Theater. Fan favorite Cirque Electric will also return to the Stanleyville Theater with acrobatic stunts and dynamic performances. And then they also announced some stuff for Adventure Island, some renovations. Adventure Island, their water park. They're going to have a new tropical seating area, a refreshed park entrance, and the two new attractions, Rapids Racer and Wahoo Remix, will also open soon.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's well past due, especially Busch Gardens. I mean, they had summer nights for years. I guess SeaWorld debuted their new nighttime show. Was it 5 years ago now? It would be 5 years this year, maybe. Busch Gardens just had summer nights for years, at least as long as I've lived in Florida. They've had summer nights, so I think it's way past time for them to sort of rebrand their nighttime, their summer celebration, so to speak.
So it's good. Yeah, like you said, Barry, it's good to see Busch Gardens kind of taking a look around the park and seeing some and investing in some areas that need some sprucing up. So good for them. Super Nintendo World is coming in 2023. At Universal Studios Hollywood, and just like Universal Studios Japan did, they opened up a little preview store where guests can kind of go in and purchase some Super Nintendo World, Super Mario, whatever you want to call it, merchandise. I wonder what they're going to be doing over here. They did something for USJ. They did something for Hollywood. We're getting a whole new theme park. Are we going to get an Epic Universe gift shop?
You'll get what's going on, Universal? And you'll enjoy it.
Well, I mean, I think the good thing, based on the few photos they released so far, is some of the merchandise definitely seems very similar to Japan. Because I feel like we've had this discussion before. Our biggest worry of when they bring Super Nintendo World over here is they're going to dumb down some of the merchandise and some of the food that
going to be
has that
Mario burger and Luigi chicken tenders.
Yeah, and whereas
whereas
over in Japan, all the food is very
it's amazing.
Amazing and very Nintendo related, and I realize certain tastes aren't going to be the same, but it's like please at least give it a chance here to see if it works or not.
Sure.
With some of the crazy drinks and different things like that. Because I would really hate to see us get sort of a dumbed down version of things because of I don't know.
Us Americans are so boring.
Yeah,
I mean we are.
But yeah, I mean, I seeing some of the pictures of some of the merch, it definitely gives me hope that we're going to get some of the some of the crazier merch that they had in Japan too.
Yeah.
So I don't see why not, because it's
because we all see Chris, TDR Explorer Chris, post all of his Super Nintendo World posts and videos and tweets, and he's shared a lot of the Super Nintendo World merchandise, and there's some really, really cool stuff. Actually, go check him out. Give him a plug. If you guys want to see some really great, not just Super Nintendo World, but some great just Japan content from Tokyo, Disney, Universal Studios Japan. Go check him out, TDR Explorer.
He's been covering a lot more Universal Studios Japan just by the sheer fact of how it's so hard to get into Tokyo Disney.
Yeah, I heard him say something. I didn't look into it, but I saw him tweet that it's been like really difficult to get into Tokyo Disney or something with all of that going on over there. So
so
we should, speaking of, we should probably have him on. I know we've talked about it forever, but we definitely need to get Chris back on and
Japan is finally reopening for certain types of travelers, but unfortunately still not tourists. So
Barry got excited for a few seconds that day.
For a few seconds, and then I was like, I read.
And then he deleted the tweet.
Boo! I was like, boo! I was like, okay, well, I guess the plan is to go to Singapore again or Paris. So
yeah,
sir.
So
moving on really quick, Disneyland Paris gave a little bit of an update on their all those massive expansions that they got going on. Everything they announced, what was it, a year back when they announced all this stuff? I can't remember. These last couple of years.
I was going to say, wasn't it right before I felt like it was
before the pandemic, because I remember writing it.
Yeah, it was right before the pandemic. They announced this. They announced Avengers Campus.
Well, they announced the Arendelle one, the Avengers Campus, and then they did Galaxy's Edge, and then I guess I don't remember if it was like a sales call or something, or earnings call. But they basically said, "Oh yeah, Arendelle and Avengers Campus."
Yeah,
and I don't think Galaxy's Edge is really on that table anymore.
The last time wasn't Galaxy's Edge was scaled back to just Smuggler's Run, but not in then depending on how things go, possibly Rise of the Resistance in the future.
So I think at this point it's just not in the cards.
And Avengers Campus is still supposed to, at least parts of it are still supposed to open this summer.
Yeah, and they didn't announce too many new details. They just kind of gave a rehash of
hey, we're still doing it.
Yeah, well, hey, we're still doing the Frozen expansion. They said the area will feature a 131-foot snow-covered mountain. Trying to read here what else it says. A new attraction that'll take guests on a journey alongside iconic characters. I'm guessing it's going to be something, if not a clone of All Ride.
Because it was supposed to be a clone of Frozen Ever After. So changing it, that's interesting.
I always thought that they were getting a unique version of the attraction, because I know Tokyo's getting a unique version.
Well, aren't they getting like the sled coaster?
Yeah, the sleigh. I think
that's Hong Kong.
Hong Kong's getting the sled coaster. Yeah, Tokyo's I think getting a sleigh. The dark ride will be sleighs, and I'm assuming trackless.
Because it looked very similar to Seven Dwarfs Mine Train.
Yeah.
Like Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, but frozen.
It's really what it is. Yeah.
And then they also they gave some new details about this area that'll be connecting the park to this new Frozen area, and there'll be some entertainment and some dining, and a table service restaurant comprising of 250 seats on the lakefront. So, and that was about it. And no official opening date, but they did share that they are. I didn't post it in the article, but they posted a picture of the construction. That's begun vertical construction of the expansion. So
I mean they have a ton of land around that lake.
They do.
They have a ton of I know. I mean their ultimate goal is to turn it into a multiple 3-4 day destination. And right now for most people, it's day and a half maybe. Because the studio, even with all the additions, the studio's Paris park is still the weakest park in of any Disney park.
I've heard a lot of people, at least within the last couple of years, excluding, these last 2 years with the pandemic and everything, but even before that, I really started to hear a lot of people say really positive things about Disneyland Paris, whereas before that, it was a lot of bashing and a lot of negativity.
Disneyland Paris is nice. Walt Disney Studios.
Yeah, since Disney has gotten full control, they've poured a lot of money into updating Disneyland Paris and expanding the studio park and we've seen the 30th anniversary stuff. We've seen the 30th anniversary stuff. So I mean,
the 30th anniversary over there is amazing. They've done a bang up job with that. Just everything, food, the merchandise, the entertainment, just everything I've seen come out of the Disneyland Paris 30th has been amazing. So, all right. Last but not least, we got a Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind opening date. And to absolutely no surprise, it is May 27th.
Wow.
I'm shocked.
So yeah.
Are you shocked? Yoichi is shocked. See, if you could see the look on her face, she is shocked.
We didn't get too many new photos or new video. They released a trailer, which I thought was really interesting. Did you guys? I'm guessing you guys saw the trailer.
Yeah.
With the voice actors that weren't even Bradley Cooper or.
Yep.
Yeah, there were a lot of people upset about that they didn't use the.
I mean, it's. I hate to tell people, but most of the time, if you've seen Toy Story Land or Toy Story anything.
I'm about to break it to you. That's not actually Rod Sterling.
That's for Toy Story Land and all that. That's not Tom Hanks. That's actually his brother.
Yeah,
does Woody's voice for a lot of things.
There were a lot of people upset about this, and I was like, we got bigger things to be worried about than who's voice acting. Rocket Raccoon for.
I mean, I hate to tell people, it's like they're not going to spend that kind of money on the commercials. To pay them. I mean, because this is already it's going to be interesting to ride this, and we've heard the budget. It's like what. $500 million,
$500 million ride or something like that.
Or 500. I mean, how many millions of that was to pay
the actors? Yeah.
And James Gunn, because James Gunn had a hand in writing the script and everything, and obviously he directed all of the ride stuff.
But
and we keep hearing these leaks that. Even though, a lot of this is screen based, that there are sets inside of this attraction. So,
well, you got to pretty much imagine that the entire Universe of Energy building is going to be the queue pre-show area because they built a coaster in a completely different building.
Yeah, and the station.
Because I'm guessing the launch is going to be into the big building and, you're going to kind of go from there. So the old Universe of Energy building is pretty much the queue and the station. So they've got a lot of room to work with in there, whatever they do. I mean, I know they got this thing, the Galaxarium or whatever it is.
Yeah, the Galaxy.
The circle.
Yeah, and we had that's really all we've really seen is that in the station. Gotta imagine that there's a pre-show area where something happens.
First coaster at Epcot. First reverse launch coaster for Disney. And then obviously it is the first Walt Disney World attraction to feature the Guardians of the Galaxy. This is our first Marvel attraction.
Can't say that. Can't say Marvel.
Yeah, I know. So they had.
I have a feeling at the media day they're going to be like, you cannot say Marvel.
Yeah. And then it says Guardians Cosmic Rewind will be one of the longest fully enclosed coasters in the world. Housed in one of the largest show buildings ever constructed at a Disney theme park. Then it says 4 spaceship Earths would fit inside the attraction's massive new show building. Some of the runners ran by. There all these Run Disney weekends that just happened. One of the runs, they got to go right next to the building, and people were posting videos of it. It's massive, this building.
Yeah, no, and it's you gotta imagine what the length. You gotta imagine there's some show scenes inside of this.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting to see what the actual length time of the attraction is.
I'm gonna be. I was curious about capacity.
Yeah,
I'm still just waiting for them to send out that pass holder email, but I digress.
Yeah.
I mean, so far the only preview that's been announced is the D23 event that goes on sale this Tuesday, which I will be trying to get into.
And they did mention cast member previews are going to be a thing, so they're going to be doing cast member previews.
Yeah, and the cast are going to get. There's going to be two types of cast member previews. One where only cast members, and then cast member and a guest. So I think they're trying to, much in the same way they did with Ratatouille, trying to get as many previews in as possible. This is the way it is now. The days of soft openings seem to be over with Disney. They're going to do all these previews, which obviously gives them an opportunity.
Smart though. Make sure the ride is operating properly.
I think it's smart, to give your cast and give your pass holders, and obviously the Club 33 people. I believe they're going to be the ones who get the first shot with previews, and get them in, and it helps. I feel like it helps. Not that opening day I'm sure will be nuts, because apparently already all the pass annual pass reservations are full currently at the moment for opening day.
I'm good.
We'll see if they open up some more. I guess a lot of it would depend on ticket sales for hotel guests and single tickets. But it's I think it helps make the opening go, I think, feel like a little bit smoother, because then everybody and their mother doesn't feel the need to come out that opening weekend if a lot of people have already gotten to ride the thing.
Yeah, true. All right, that's all the theme park talking news topics I have. Anything else we wanted to chat about? Everybody still loving Moon Knight? We got another episode of that.
I am.
Yeah, Emily, Oscar, Isaac.
Got to see Mr. Knight for the first time.
Yeah, and they've just they've been doing Avengers Campus. He shows up pretty much the same day at Avengers Campus at Disneyland, which is pretty awesome. What else happened this week? Anything pop culture wise? Movies, TVs?
Well, as far as Moon Knight, we got the introduction of his wife.
Yeah.
And the whole fight scene I thought was really cool, the way they did it, where it bounced back and forth between what he could see and then what everyone else is seeing.
Yeah.
And just, I thought overall the episode really helped explain things a little bit more, but also really, I feel he really got the story going, and now we got, I think, the next.
Like I said on social media, I'm glad I know nothing about Moon Knight, because all of the hate seems to be coming from the comic book nerds that know everything about Moon Knight, and they're saying, "Oh, this isn't right. Oh, this isn't right." Like a lot of these Marvel fans do. Marvel. I guess something.
Imagine being a fan of something and then just shitting all over it.
Well, I think probably with Moon Knight, I think why you're seeing more of that is it's Moon Knight's always had more of a cult following. It's never been a huge title.
Sure.
And so your comic book fans of Moon Knight are going to be a little bit more hardcore.
Yeah.
About it, and I think it's definitely I can see why it's probably having to deal with that type of fan base. Whereas anyone who watches the MCU knows it's an adaptation.
Yeah.
MCU has
it's supposed to be just like the comic books. What are you saying?
MCU has always done their version of these stories, and while a lot of compared to DC and other comic book adaptations over the year, are things more comic book accurate? Yeah.
I was about to say, have they ever seen a DC movie? Because
yeah, right.
I'm about to anger a lot of people.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I mean, and it's like when we discussed the Batman is, I feel like one of the first DC movies that feels like the comic book, like a comic book.
My dad sent me a message and he goes, saw the Batman, didn't really like it. You'd have to be a Batman fan to like it. And I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
That's fine. Yeah, it's like they finally got Batman right. You know, it's like and I think it's I can like I said, I mean the MCU has always been an adaptation of the Marvel comics, of those characters, and that's that's what's great about comics, is there's different versions of all these stories that have been written by different writers, and the MCU is no different. It's different versions of these stories written by different created by different people. The nice thing that the MCU has that everyone else has failed at is this is an overarching universe, and whereas Moon Knight, now we're getting with really I feel like with Moon Knight getting into like more little smaller parts of the universe, because we already don't know. Oscar Isaac signed up for these 6 episodes. I'm sure Moon Knight's going to make an appearance somewhere else at some point. That's totally
people forget to realize half the time too. It's like, yeah, they're making Moon Knight. There's a reason they're making Moon Knight. There's a reason they made Eternals. There's a reason that they made Hawkeye. Like everything fits in together. It's not just a separate thing.
Yeah.
No, it's stuff that pays off years later. And like I said, with like Clint has said, and I feel like a lot of other people I've seen online say why a lot of people are really liking Moon Knight is you don't need to know all this history to jump into Moon Knight.
Yeah. Well, that's what my sister, like my younger sister, she's a huge Egyptian nerd, and I messaged her on Facebook. I was like, listen, and she's kind of into the Marvel movies. I don't know how far back she is, but she's kind of into them. And I told her, I was like, you have to watch Moon Knight. I was like, you don't have to be brushed up on every movie and everything all caught up. Because I know she loves Egypt and, Egyptian gods and that kind of thing. And I was like, you need to watch Moon Knight because you'll love it, because it's got this whole Egyptian god theme and it's really cool. And that's kind of what hey, thanks, Adam, but I can't take all the credit. ThrillGeek is kind of everybody. So, but I do appreciate it.
ThrillGeek is not a man.
Yeah.
I am woman, hear me roar.
I started it, but I have an awesome team that helps out a ton. So I can't take all the credit, but thank you. I appreciate it.
We're also holding him
in the beginning. He could take all the credit, but
the first couple of years I can take all the credit, but now I can't. So, but hey, I appreciate it. Thank you for tuning in and everything. Appreciate you.
Good Lord, it'll be 6 years this summer since I'm going board. But
it'll be 10 years.
3 years for me.
I just noticed 10 years next year because I go by kind of when I started the Twitter handle, which was, let me look at it right now. I started the ThrillGeek Twitter handle in January of 2013. So next year in January, ThrillGeek will be 10 years old, which is kind of crazy to think.
Wow.
Anyways.
Our cute little website can officially ride a bike without any safety brakes.
Right. The training wheels are coming off next year. Oh gosh. So anyways, guys, I think that's everything, unless anybody else has anything else they want to
No, I think we're good.
We can wrap it up. Like I said, it was kind of a slow-ish news week this week, so I figured we'd just kind of chit chat this week with our stream. Yeah. But
I feel like we're in a little bit of a lull. Obviously, especially it's spring break. And next week will be Easter, and I think once we get past the spring break holiday, we're going to start seeing a ramp up again of HHN announcements, and of course, then we're going to go into a multi-week,
multiverse week.
Yeah, multiverse week. Which I'm sort of interested. I find it interesting that they're doing the Cosmic Rewind media event the same week as the Doctor Strange release. I don't know if I realize they have a timing as far as things, but
They really said Avengers Assemble.
I feel like the social media talk is going to get buried come Friday, come Thursday night. So, as far as like Cosmic Rewind, but on the other hand, with the previews and all that, they'll get plenty of talk about Cosmic Rewind for a few weeks. So.
And hopefully we'll get a Thor Love and Thunder trailer finally.
Marvel, it's interesting since Spider-Man, it's like they are being tight now with the trailers.
Yeah, well, COVID kind of screwed everything up with that. I mean, if you think about it, we've already it's the COVID messed a lot of timeline stuff up.
Well, it was like twice they started the media blitz for Black Widow, only to have to to cancel it. So I mean, I guess they feel like now, and the demand's there. I mean, they know Thor: Love and Thunder is going to going to do well. It's been interesting, and I feel it's also because a lot of these movies, up until I feel like the Marvels one, they've all been on a tighter timeline as far as filming goes.
Yeah.
Especially Thor: Love and Thunder has been on a very tight timeline. I mean, I think even Taika Waititi has basically said they're going to be working all the way up until the last minute to finish the film. But I'm excited. I mean, I'm excited for Multiverse of Madness. I think we're going to see some crazy freaking shit in that stuff. I'm sorry. That is twice tonight.
I have dropped 2 shits tonight.
But no, I mean, we're going to see some crazy stuff in that film, and I'm all for it. I after Spider-Man, where I felt like so many stuff leaked out before the film came out, I'm glad we're sort of back to the Marvel Studios movies where nothing leaks out before the film comes out.
Yeah.
So I think we're gonna be surprised by a lot of the stuff we see in this film. And hey, it's Sam Raimi. I mean, he really kicked this all off with the original Spider-Man film, and it's gonna be interesting to see him back in the Marvel universe, and I'm sure he's going to put his own little touch visually like he normally does onto the film. So
cool. I'm excited. Yeah, it should be a fun time. Like, I've heard the movie's going to be really dark and really I'm excited. I'm very, very excited for this movie.
I think the only real shocking thing about it to me is it's only 2 hours and 8 minutes. That I was sort of surprised. It's definitely we've been, most of these movies lately have been like 2.5 hours, and so
what was really funny was somebody called it was an article or something. I'll mention this really quick before we get out of here. Somebody did an article on something Multiverse of Madness, and they called it Doctor Strange 2, and I was like, this is Doctor Strange 2? I was like, for some reason it felt like Doctor Strange has already had like 3 movies or something like that. It was so bizarre seeing Multiverse of Madness being called Doctor Strange 2, and I was like, it is.
I think this is just the way, outside of like something like Shang-Chi, this is the way it's going to be forward. Is like, even these so-called solo adventures aren't going to be solo adventures anymore. I think they've since the Avengers, but they've realized, it's like, there's no, you can't keep explaining away why some other hero's not going to show up. And some crazy thing is going on.
Where was this person? Where was that person?
I mean, for all we've heard, everything we've heard, Thor: Love and Thunder is going to be partially a Guardians film, because some of them are going to show up in the movie. So it's like, I think the irony, is Guardians may be one of the few that actually it is mostly just the Guardians. But that's already a team fair, for all intents and purposes, it's a team movie anyway. Big question is when the heck are we getting another Avengers film? And it looks like it's still a few years away, maybe, before we get another Avengers.
So to say, don't hold your breath.
Endgame kind of brought everything crashing down, so they got to kind of do some rebuilding here.
They're building up to something again.
So
the question is will we, who's going to be the big villain? So
Mephisto.
Yeah, it's not going to be Mephisto.
It's going to be Mephisto.
Sam Raimi himself.
Yeah. So, anyways, all right, let's get on out of here. Barry, tell everybody where they can find us online.
We are at ThrillGeek on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Facebook.com/ThrillGeek. Please like and follow our Facebook page. You are watching on either Twitch or YouTube. So youtube.com/ThrillGeek or twitch.tv/ThrillGeek. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We are constantly doing live stream, have new videos up all the time. And of course, the OG, ThrillGeek.com for the latest in theme park and pop culture news. And you're watching ThrillGeek This Week.
Make sure you're following us on Twitch. We're at 49 followers, and I want to get to 50. Dang it. You got a Twitch and you're watching on YouTube, jump over to Twitch right now and follow us. I want to get to 50.
Unsubscribe.
What?
I said time to unsubscribe.
I was just going to ask where everybody can follow
when somebody's like, hey, follow me. I need a certain amount of followers. My favorite thing to do on Twitter is if you're already following them, if you hit like the unfollow thing, it'll be like, are you sure you want to unfollow? And I just screenshot that and I said
send it to him like a thread.
Well, then there was like me who'd hit like like the 2,000 something mark, and then all of a sudden 5 people stopped following me. I was like, what? And it's like,
I said, I have acknowledged your good deed and I'm here to ruin it.
Emily, really quick, where can everybody find you online?
Oh gosh, yes, online only. Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok. All a Geek Notice. Wow, I did it amazing.
You did it. Good job. I'm proud of
you.
I
actually have to edit a TikTok. Thank you for reminding me.
Same thing here. Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Culture and Thrills.
Yeah, boy.
Follow everybody everywhere on all the social medias. So
just social media, please.
Yeah,
do not follow us in the parks.
I will have a panic attack and die.
If you ever see us in the park as a group collectively, say hi. Yes. But yeah, follow us online. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. The list keeps getting longer every year.
Oh, I just saw this. I know it's not like fresh news, but there's like Main Street Electrical Parade wishables, and I kind of want to die.
Oh God,
they're so cute.
What's you did the article? What's the merchandise that I don't want to get on a tangent here? We got to get out of here. But
me trying to remember what article I wrote.
It was like a backpacker t-shirt.
Yeah, that one was just like spirit jerseys and t-shirts and backpacks, but these were not included.
Because we got to beat this dead horse again.
Yeah.
But no,
I will say this, at least they created a new finale this time. So at least there's that. And maybe hopefully they finally like put in LED lights on the whole parade, but I wouldn't hold my breath.
So all right, guys, we're out of here. Thanks again to everybody who tuned into the live stream. We appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in, commenting and watching and all that stuff. We really appreciate it. We will see you guys again back here next week. 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on our YouTube and Twitch channels for another live stream. So until next time, take care, be safe, and we'll see you guys later.
See you soon.